Hey there, today I'm going to make a template so I can produce a bunch of videos and some really cool bracelets. And I'm going to show you how I do it so that way you can actually do this for yourself. It's just using some graph paper from over on my website. So let's get to it. Roll that intro. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and as I was saying, I'm going to make a template here to be able to make a bunch of future bracelets. So we're starting off with this that is available over on my website, akaawol.com, and if you go in there, you just search for the graph paper, you'll find ready-made. This is 12 strings or 24 coming down. So there's 12, let's zoom in here. There's 12 along this side here. Right, so if you're making 12 strings going into your loop and then having 24 coming down, that's what we have. Now, I need to figure out like how long this thing is going to be, so that way when I make my future bracelets out of this, I will be able to like gauge everything, find the center, do all that kind of cool stuff. So what I did was I created, you might have seen this over on Instagram, this picture here. This is a bracelet I made specifically so I could find out what the length was for something that has 24 strings and is single. The strands aren't doubled up. So right here, let's just take a pencil. Right here, whoa, that's really wide, is the center, right? So what I can do, now I'm going to start a little low on this. Let's start down here because I can always chop off and whatever, but if I run out of space, that would be a bit of a problem. So let's just even go a little lower, just play it really on the safe side. So there, I put a guideline to get me started, and I also want a guideline to tell me right where the center of this is. And that'll become kind of more apparent here shortly. So there I have my guide. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. All right. So let's just start out with like a red. And the paint tool. And I take that back. We'll start with yellow. Because the yellow is the color that does the little things in the middle. All right. So we go yellow, orange, red. So let's see. Oh, I see what's wrong. This is. Does it come to here? Yeah, okay, so it ends up. No, that's not right either. I need to find the halfway point between these two sides. There we go. So there's yellow. Now I'll go with that's like pretty good orange. So you can see I'm basically just trying to make a rough outline of the shape and making sure that it matches the reality of what I normally make. So yes, this is turning out correct now. I can now use that red. Now, one of the things that was interesting about the bracelet and why I chose that design is this shape here is exactly the same shape that's in the middle, and then again and again and again, right? So let's first put one of those markers, whoops, right on this center part here. That will help me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight just that red color. I'm going to Control C and Control V. Now I can put this right there. And that would be the next row up, right? So that would, this one here, let's go ahead and anchor that. So that one hit there would be, in this case, would be right here. Now if we Control V again, and we anchor that. So now we went from there to there to there. We just need two more. Control V. I'm trying to get these set in really nice so that way when I'm done with this, I can color them back to the blue, and that will leave us with our template that we want. Anchor, Control V. And yep, as you can see, I really did leave ourselves a lot of space, but this is good. This was my intention. My bracelet that I made is a little bit small. And leaving myself a little bit of extra room to play with is exactly what I kind of want to do. So there is that. We could actually Control V one more time. Put this. Let's see. Off the mark. Oh, because I was working on that side. Okay. This sort of makes sense. Right, because this had the center row and the other one didn't. Alright, I get it now. So these two knots over here are something that happens only in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that to a new layer. Wait, Control Z. Just tune this thing just a little bit. There we go. Now put it to a new layer. And can I do this? Yes. Okay, so I just deleted those extra ones on the outside because, again, when I go to paint everything back to the light blue, that's going to be a problem. But what I wanted was I wanted to be able to put the marking line in between there as well. And we can now merge the layer down because that box is going to make me insane. All right, so now we have the rough outline. That's how long my bracelet is, all right? Well, at least the top half. We'll fix that here in a moment too. But what I want to do is take this tool that highlights a color. Did you get it? Yes. And we're going to delete Oh, wait. Transparency. No, it does have an output channel. Okay, there we go. Oh. Control A. What I failed to do earlier was to get rid of this other side, so that's kind of a trouble. Let's go ahead and do that now. And we go here, no, image, crop to selection. So, okay, we didn't need that whole other side over there. We can work with just this. It actually saves a lot of computer resources. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer. And this is a little bit more complex than necessary, I suppose, but you'll see why here shortly. All right, so we're going to make a white layer and we're going to put it behind this. And we're going to work on that white layer to draw some lines. So we need a pencil. We need it to just be a little dot. That's fine. And we need it to be a color other than white. Let's go with this dark blue. So if I put a dot there and hold the shift key, I can put a dot here. And now you can see, because we're working on that background layer, it's behind these pieces where we will be adding colors and stuff too. So this is going to be my guideline of where the bracelet itself stops when we're done. Now, why do we need to go to so much trouble of having this as a guide? Well, like I was saying, this bracelet is a little bit short. So if by chance maybe I want to extend a pattern just a little bit longer, I have that wiggle room. So there. So there's my guideline. This is what's going to tell me where I should stop. And then realistically, I think I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's a bit long. I suspect. Let's make our brush size bigger and move this to an angle. So 1, 2, 3. So right about, whoops, I left that Control C. Make it, oops, make it right. Cancel. Anyway, go back up to this top one. So now 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we gave ourselves 3 more rows. Why is it? Went to the top row and it went and did the same thing again. There we go. There. And 1, 2, 3. And we can just sort of eliminate all these up here. There. So now that is our wiggle room. This is how much space I'm allotting for future builds, if that makes sense. So that way, if it needs to be a little bit longer, if I don't like where the pattern's ending at, that will be the guide for that. Now, what I need to do is I need to build the whole bottom half, right? So now, and just make sure that's right in the middle. Yep, it is. Okay, so now I Control C, Control V. Ooh, wait. Let's merge these 2 layers. So layer, merge down. So now it's all just one image. We've got our guides and stuff on there. Control C, Control V. Wait, we don't have. Is that area selected? It is. Okay. Do the flip. It's vertical. Got it. And as you can see, this is becoming a huge burden of resources on my computer. Why did it flip again? Oh. Okay, I'm not using the wrong tool, that's why. Get these lined up. That's just the arrow key I'm using there. So now they're both lined up. Now, image, canvas to layers. There we go. So now, by fitting the image to the layers, this was longer than what the whole thing was, but now we've created this whole thing to be exactly the right length. We have our guidelines on the bottom as well, because we basically copied what we had at the top. The only weird thing we have is these little strips where there wasn't anything before. So all we gotta do, oops, control it, is paint those in. We're not on that layer. There we go. There'll be one of that kind of thing down here. There. Now we have a working template. We have all of the guidelines for making various patterns and stuff in the future. What we need to do now is to get rid of the colors we used to create it. So we take the color red here, get our paint tool, get our background, the light blue thing, and we go fill whole selection, and boom, all that red turns into that. Now we do the same thing with the orange, bucket tool, and the yellows. And there we have it. Control A. This is our template. All right, so in the next, I don't know, coming days, possibly even later today, I will be using this to create some really cool bracelets. I'm really super excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. Now you kind of see how this is put together. Mind you, if I was doubling up the strings, this would be a lot shorter. So this pattern here is specific to when it's thinner like this. So I will be creating some more of these kind of pattern things in the future. Might not necessarily do them as a video because it's pretty much the same thing every time I do it. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. I will have this available over on my website, AKAAWOL.com. I haven't even figured out what the title for my video is yet, so I can't tell you how to look for it, but it'll be in the tutorial section along with this video. So thank you all for watching, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.